don't remember much about my father, but I do remember he loved this old piano. I've burned it now due to reasons that I'll explain later. My father played his piano all day. It drove my mother crazy, but she was just happy to see him not on his mindless TV binge. Our father was the type who would leave the chores to my mother, while he just sits there drinking and binging whatever shows caught his attention. His favourite show was American Idol. He'd dream of being on the show, showing off his talent to the entire world. That all changed when he bought the dusty old piano. Even though we lived in a small home at the time, we all agreed to make space in the corner of the living room. We got to move in the shelves, lined with old VHS tape my father inherited from his father, mostly from the 70s and 80s era. There was something eerily strange about that piano though, like a sense it wasn't any ordinary piano. Maybe it was just my overactive imagination, or maybe it wasn't. I always remembered he used to say to me and my brother, "Now kids, don't touch the piano, or else you'll taint the keys." Now I wish we'd listened. It was one night we decided to play on the piano. Our mother didn't mind, of course. She was happy to see us doing something besides playing with Lego blocks and watching cartoons. But our father, that was a different story. After we'd finished playing whatever random keys we could press, we decided to call it a night. But not until we heard the door unlock. As the door opened, we sat there thinking it was our father. It was. He turned to stare at us, blood boiling as he saw us sat up at the piano. "What did I say about touching the piano?" he shouted angrily. Just then Mother came in running into the room, dropping the laundry on the floor. "Honey, is everything?" She stopped in her tracks, seeing as our father beat us. "David, stop!" she screamed at our father as he continued. "I said stop! They're only kids!" She screamed again, this time causing our father to stop, panting as he caught his breath. He turned around to see my mother standing over him. "Why didn't you tell them?" he said, still angry about me and my brother laying fingers on his prized possession. "Honey, David, I didn't know you," David screamed back angrily. "You didn't know what? You know how special that piano is to me, or are all women thick like you?" That comment really stirred my mother, but she kept her cool under the anger. "I'm going to cool off and drink a beer, and you kids stay away from that piano," screamed David, grabbing a beer from the fridge and going outside to cool off. Our mother gestured us to come to her, reassuring us it'll be okay. She whispered to us in that soothing tone, "It's okay, he'll forget all about what happened." Me and my brother felt comforted and calmer as she spoke these words, in a way a mother speaks to a child. That night, David went straight to bed, but something was amiss. He woke up the next day to my mother getting dressed and ready for work. Normally he compliments her on how beautiful she looks, but not this time. This time he just got showered, dressed, and said nothing the whole time. My mother asked him if anything was on his mind, to which he replied in an irritated tone, "I'm fine." Since then, he continued playing that piano, only something was off. Instead of playing the major keys as he always did, he played the minor keys. Me and my brother tried our best to ignore it, but we couldn't shake the feeling something about David was off, like something changed. This wasn't my overactive imagination either. Even our mother felt it too, like a feeling David was diving down into insanity. Even at the dinner table when we ate, David would often sit there eating his food rather vigorously, something he normally didn't do. My mother just chalked it up to, "It's just a phase," but it never came to pass. One day my mother asked David again, "Are you sure you're okay?" You've been awfully angry the past week. This really ticked my father off. That's it. The next person to ask me that is getting the living shit beat out of him, he snapped, like he'd lost all rationality and reasoning. My mother had just about enough. That's enough, David. If you don't stop this right now, I'm going to have to file a restraining order. The look in David's eyes said it all. The look of anger, madness, menace. Just then David clenched his fist and took a fast, hard swing at her. She hit the ground, nose broken and bleeding from her face. "Mom!" we screamed, running over to see if she was alright. "Kids, call 911 now!" She shouted to us in an urgent tone. We did as she said and dialed 911. David unfazed by this as he stood there, breathing heavily, a gleam of redness in his eyes. He had officially lost it. The cops arrived along with an ambulance. David was arrested and charged with aggravated assault, and our mother was taken to hospital and treated for her wounds. Since there was no one to care for us 24/7, our uncle offered to take care of us while Mum recovered. Uncle William, or Will as he preferred to be called, was a kind soul, always looking out for others before himself, something my mother greatly appreciated and the reason she left us with him. I never heard from my father again, and my mother made a full recovery. Once everything was back to normal, our mother was discharged from the hospital. Our father paid for the health insurance, and since he wasn't with us anymore, we had to pay the full bill. We moved back into our mother's home, but the piano left a sour taste in our mouths. Due to this, we all agreed the best course of action was to burn it. We gathered some matches and rubbed them against the box until they sparked a flame. We then threw them onto the hauntingly and eerily old piano, watching as the wood began to burn away, turning to ash. "Let's not speak of this again, okay?" spoke Mother, of which we nodded and agreed. I'm older now, 18 to be specific, and soon to graduate. No matter how hard I try to forget those events in which occurred, they still linger in the background of my mind, like something that won't go away. Hey guys, this is Not Your Average Fox here, and if you like this narration, please consider subscribing. It really means a lot to me right now. And besides that, I also do have a Twitch which I stream on every now and then, so if you want to check that out, I'll leave the link in the description, or no, if I can, since external links apparently I can't put in the description, even some silly verification thing going on right now. So yeah, I'll try and post it maybe in the comments or something. Anyway, besides that, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you really enjoyed this and want to see more, and also don't forget to leave a like and a comment. Thank you so much.